Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. I didn't really get how good guitar can be until I started exploring rock music. Randy Rhoads makes my skin delightfully tingle in ways that I didn't know possible. Stevie Ray Vaughan just makes me giggle incessantly. But many of you have suggested that I should check out the man that's considered to be the greatest guitarist of all time, Jimi Hendrix. This sounds like a splendid idea. Of course, we should do this. So let's get to it.
There must be some kind of way out of here. Say the joker to the thief. There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief.
Okay, this sounds vaguely familiar. I know that it's been placed in lots of movies, including Forrest Gump. And I have heard about this in music history class. Honestly, seriously, conservatory studies. I heard about this in music history. I think, though, we were talking more about Bob Dylan because he wrote it, I believe, with some sort of commentary on the Vietnamese War. So we're going to go back to the beginning because at first I was just struck like, oh, this does sound a little bit familiar, but I want to dive into what makes it good. I'm really intrigued by the sort of like, there's a sharper sound in there that almost sounds like it has a more reverb than some of the other sounds. Uh, oh, there's a whole combination of sounds in there that are actually really cool. That sound. It almost has an extra reverb or delay on it. I love that intro in the guitar there because of the way that it like is just underneath the pitch. It like kind of like scoops up to it a little bit there. It kind of makes me want to raise an eyebrow.
There must be some kind of way out of here. Say the joker to the thief. There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief.
Listening to the way the guitar and the voice are interweaving is really interesting. The guitar definitely takes a back seat to the voice once it comes in, but there's these little noodles essentially underneath every now and then that seem to be making some sort of commentary on what's being sung. Um, Man, there's actually a lot of really cool sounds in
Out
here.
of here.
Back a little bit. I like the way that that first guitar intro was actually kind of short. Part of me likes it, part of me doesn't. Part of me is like, "Oh, I want to hear so much more," but that's good. It brought me directly into the song. I feel very attached and hooked to it. I can tell you that I want to go back and listen to this song over and over already just because of the way that that intro drew me in.
There must be some kind of way out of here. Say the joker to the thief. There's too much confusion.
It's so interesting how he expresses confusion. He's pitch bending his voice almost like it were a guitar. Like there's like a bah. It feels like he's taken a finger and just kind of shifted the string.
There's too much confusion.
It's so fantastic how you hear people's voices often mimic instruments that they're frequently on. When you have a pianist who's singing a bunch, you tend to have a very precise type of voice that needs to learn how to sing a better legato line. When you have guitarists and vocalists combined, you often get those sort of like pitch bendy things, or they're just little stylizations that are reflected in the voice. Same thing with brass, especially in how the breath support works with the voice for brass. Anyhow, it's fascinating. We could talk about that for hours, but let's just talk about Jimmy for now.
No way out of here.
He does it there too, where there's a little toss up at the end.
There must be some kind of way out of here.
Yeah.
Said the joker to the thief. There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief. Businessman there to drink my wine. Plowman dig my earth.
It's so fascinating. Almost all of these endings have had this same kind of like fuzzy pitch that slides down. In fact, I would argue that a lot of times he hasn't really sustained a pitch for very long. He'll definitely hit them right on, but then moves off of them rather quickly.
Relief. Businessman there to drink my wine. Plowman dig my earth. None will ever own the mine. Nobody of it is worth. Hey.
I do really love the way the lyrics are so clear. It's very easy to follow this. There aren't many lyrics in this song. And I think it's incredibly important that each one is very, very clearly related because it tells a very deep story.
None will ever own the mine. Nobody of it is worth. Hey. No reason.
I love the way there's like a little woo at the very end. For some reason, it kind of makes me think of like the robots in Wall-E and how they'll make like little expressive noises, right? That at the very end just had this little extra expression it wanted to give. It's just so cool the way he plays with the pitch in the guitar as well. Again, having this sort of like leaning up into it, he makes the guitar sound like it's talking sometimes. Right there.
No reason to get excited.
Ooh.
The thing they kind of
Whoa.
reason to get excited.
I feel like that's actually echoing the excitement in that guitar moment from just before. But I also, no reason to get excited. Are you kidding me? I'm so excited about what the voice did just right there. There's plenty of reasons to get excited about Jimi Hendrix's voice right there.
No reason to get excited.
Decided. So interesting. I don't think that has a question mark at the end. No reason to get excited. There's no question mark in that pronunciation. Yet he goes up with the voice at the end. It puts a different kind of spin on those lyrics.
No reason to get excited. The thing they kind of spoke.
Wow.
There are many here among us who feel that life is but a joke. But you and I, we've been through that. And this is not our fate. So let us start talking falsely now. The hour's getting late.
So again, with his voice, it almost at times feels sloppy in the way it's kind of noodling around pitches. Yet he's really good about hitting those right on when he wants to. It just feels like has like an almost country aspect in the way that it's telling a tale, telling a story. It's super fascinating. And then he's adding so many wild moments of expression, like in that moment of excited. And then in the way he does little tosses off at the end, he does that quite frequently. And I think it's by choice because it sounds like he has a ton of different expression available. It's like everything just kind of brings you down at the end, which I think could be a very big emotional statement overall to the story that's being told.
So let us start talking falsely now. I was
Very narrational there. That is wow. And apparently this was like also one of the first times somebody dared to do this kind of thing with guitar, which I think is so amazing. It does feel really, really bold. Like imagine if a classical violinist decided that they were going to play Beethoven like this. What would happen? People would lose their hair. They would riot out of classical music halls. Wow, that'd be incredible. It's just it's so fun when I hear pitch bends because of the way it makes me like feel inside. I don't know, like I've got bees in my stomach. Whoa. That's really cool. I think that's also made by guitar. I love the different tone quality there. Um, and the way it just feels like everything drops, and then the way he's playing with the amount of slide, and there's also some sort of cool harmony in there. Also, the panning is really cool. Like it feels a little Hawaiian somehow. Wow, wow. Again with the panning. Wow, wow, wow. A little wah wah. Man, it feels like we have such incredible chapters along the way of all of these different sounds. It doesn't feel like we're taking one idea and running with it as much as we're taking one incredible sound and exploring that just long enough to give you a taste and then move into the next sound. It's like he's a chef and I've taken a bite of an incredible dish and I have so many different layers of flavors as we go along, right? You get like a nice brightness at the beginning and then you have some salt in there. Maybe there's like an after kick of some spice that comes back way, way late and hits you in the back of your tongue. We're getting just like little tastes of different flavors as we're going through this instrumental portion.
Along the Watchtower.
Ooh, wow, what a good entrance.
Along the Watchtower.
And I think that he's using some sort of a retinoid rattle to keep to make that growly, raspy sound in there, by the way.
Along the Watchtower. Princess kept the view while all the women came and went. Barefoot servants too.
Again, he's really got this style of singing, hitting those notes and then sliding off of them. It's like ba 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 each time. Very, very, very interesting. And I wonder what it was in general that he was trying to convey with that kind of expression. It feels very deliberate to me.
While all the women came and
So on While All the Women, that actually sounds very like much more level. And then you get to Came and he does that slide off again.
while all the women came
Bow.
and went. Barefoot servants too. Well, outside in the cold distance, a wildcat did growl. Two riders were approaching, and the wind began to howl.
Nice. I like the extra emphasis. When began to howl, right? We really get a lot of expression in what those sounds might have been like there. Just in general, his voice has got a really nice natural timbre to it. I think he's got some depth, but there's a lot of buzz on it that I hear. Like there's just some nice natural resonance in there. And I greatly appreciate how clear his lyrics are. They're super duper clear. I don't need to second guess any single one of them.
And the wind began to howl.
Ooh. Ooh. Wow. There's so much urgency in the way that this went up in pitch at the end and then reiterated that pitch over and over. I want to come back to that. It feels like it's pleading somehow, right? Wow. That feels like it's like striking me in the heart. Wow. I feel like I got to just consume an exquisite snapshot of history, both because this was written by Bob Dylan about the war at the time. Jimmy performed it, 6 months later? So you have both of their takes about this current event in their time. And because Jimmy was doing things that were considered groundbreaking with guitar. It is fascinating to me to get to explore the guitar more. And I hope you guys will continue to join me in this journey. If you want to make sure you haven't missed anything along the way, you can check out this playlist over here. And may you fall more in love with music every day.